Hey folks, say Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to yet another Thursday live stream. I am just opening the presentation for Tata Motors. Just give me a second. There was some issue, there was some tech issue with my camera was not starting. That is the reason why I got late. Just give me a second, right? 2025. Okay, live stream. Okay. See, today's discussion is going to be on two things. Number one, as usual, we are going to talk about Nifty. And number two, Tata Motors. I know. Everyone is like, oh my God, what's up with Tata Motors? Today, everyone saw what happened in the market. If you have seen my recent video, I had already done a video on Tata Motors Q2 results. Pooja, if you're there on the live stream, if you could just share the link of that video, wherein I had discussed about what were the key pointers in Q2 result, number one. And I had also mentioned in that video that the results of Q2 will come up on the 29th, but they came up, I think, post-market. And that is the reason why we got to see what happened in today's market, because the results came up post-market, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to understand what are, yes, that's the link for you, by the way. We are going to put that in the pinned comment and in the description box. So requesting everyone to watch that video, because once you go through the video, you will understand what was the position with Q2. Thank you. And then we will today talk about Q3. And in yesterday's video, or day, I mean the Tata Motors video, I had mentioned that which are the two, three key points that you should focus on is what I had discussed there. And today also I'm going to discuss on the same points. So I'm going to share my screen and let's get started with that. So next almost 8 to 10 minutes, I would want your maximum attention so that you understand what is the pain point in Tata Motors. And if you remember, we had discussed few pain points. We had talked about Jaguar not performing properly. I told you that you must check what are the fresh numbers for Q3, especially with respect to Jaguar. Because if you remember, in Land Rover, which includes Range Rover, Discovery and whatnot, right? In Land Rover cars, it was not a demand side issue. It was a supply side issue, correct? So that was not a big one. Problem was with Jaguar, where there was a demand side issue, right? So let's go through one by one. First, by the way, this was the video for Q2 results. So would everyone please check this video as well. And now, today that you know that Tata Motors like hit a 52-week low today, we have to understand why did this happen? Why was there such sharp fall? Number one, the revenue was up just 2.7%. This is YOY, year on year. The estimate, whatever the street had estimated, 1,16,646 crore rupees of revenue. Actual revenue was 1,13,575. So this was a miss. So missed street estimate basically. EBITDA was down 15%. This was the estimate. Actual number was this much. So again, a miss. EBITDA margin estimate was also not met. That was also a miss. And net profit margin was also a miss. Net profit is down 22%. Okay. Now let's also understand what exactly are the overall numbers looking like. As I mentioned, revenue is up 2.7% YOY. Okay, from this 110.6 thousand crores to 113.6 thousand crores. Okay, so 2.7% increase in the revenue. EBIT up 60%, PBT just more or less similar, 7,800 crores to 7,700 crores. Okay. Now let's go segment wise. Now for those who have seen the video, you already know that Jaguar Land Rover, JLR, that is a segment which contributes to the maximum amount. I mean, that's like a core segment for this entire business. That's the number one segment line, JLR, followed by CV and followed by PV and EV. CV is commercial vehicle, PV and EV is basically electrical vehicle, passenger PV, passenger vehicle, EV, electrical vehicle, right? First things first, let's talk about JLR. Delivered record third quarter revenue of 7.5 billion pounds. Okay, PBT is this much. Okay, one amazing point. JLR posted highest EBIT margin in last 10 years at 9%. So highest EBIT margin in the last 10 years, 9%. Very good. One more important point, if you remember, I had discussed this in the Q2 video, wherein Tata Motors had talked about a guidance of 8.5%, and they have stuck with the guidance of 8.5% EBIT margin for the entire financial year 25. But then if they were to really go ahead with the EBIT margin of 8.5%, because in Q3 FY24 it was 8.3, now they are at 8.9, agreed, but Q2 FY25 was only 5.6. I hope you're understanding this. Q2 FY25 only 5.6. Now at 8.9. And for the full year, they are saying full year EBIT margin should be ideally 8.5%. They're maintaining that same guidance. If that be so, they'll have to specifically take a lot of efforts. Especially the JLR segment has to really perform well in Q4 if they were to meet this 8.5% ka margin. Okay. Now let's understand about JLR. JLR Q2 FY25 was at 5.1% EBIT. Q3 is at 9%. Revenue up 1.5%. PBT just shade here and there. Now what happened with number of cars sold? Again, if you remember, same investor presentation. I mean, similar pattern was given in Q2. I'm happy similar pattern is again there for Q3. That's actually a very similar way in which they present their data. But now it's so familiar for us, right? Q2 FY25 versus Q3 FY25. Amazing jump in the number of Range Rover sold. See, this is units in thousands. So Range Rover sold, good, no problem, amazing. Defender, good, no problem. Discovery, good, no problem. Where is the problem? Problem is with Jaguar. 12,100 units were sold in Q3 FY24, and now only 5,600 units sold in Jaguar. Is that a problem? Yes. Okay. So does the problem continue for Jaguar? Answer is yes, right? Now, if you remember in the Q2 video, I told that Europe was a problem. Now, for Europe, Q3 is not a problem. See, if you can see, Q3 was at 20.4 and Q3 FY25 is at 21.6. So Q3 FY24, 20,400 cars were sold and 21,600 cars were sold in Q3 FY25. So Europe is not a problem. UK, I mean, not a huge problem per se. North America though doing all well. Even overseas, nothing. I mean, 18,000 and 17,900, not a big deal. Now here there is a big deal again in China, from 15,000 to 9,300. China is also an important market, but China Q3 did not perform well, but Europe did. Okay. Now comes one important point. If you have seen my previous video Q2, the guidance that they had given for FY25, okay, revenue guidance that the management had given for FY25, that was at 30 billion pounds. Please watch that video one more time. Revenue guidance for full financial year by the management that was given was 30 billion pounds, and they have revised it downward to 29 billion pounds. 1 billion pound of lowered revenue. That's not such a happy revision. That's a downward revision of 1 billion pounds of revenue. Though that is a bad point, one good point is that they have kept this at the same level. They are saying, okay, our revenue may drop by 1 billion pounds, but our EBIT margin should still remain the same, is what they have maintained right now. So again, for Q4 results, it will be interesting to see whether they are able to meet whatever guidance they have given or not. Okay. What happened here? EBIT was at 9% up from 8.8%. Basically, here you can see, I mean, I've explained all these charts in the Q2 video as well. And one minute. I stopped. I did not. One minute. I forgot to switch off the disclaimer. 1 minute. Okay. I think it is better now. Why disclaimer image is coming behind you? Sorry. That was a mistake. I forgot to switch off the disclaimer. Taking you back to the discussion. Extremely sorry. Okay, now I think it is better. Going back to our discussion, I'll just take you one slide behind. So I was saying that revenue guidance, 1 billion pounds of revenue revision downwards, not a great sign. EBIT margin still maintained at 8.5%, good sign, but again, it will be interesting to watch whether they are able to really meet this or not. Okay. Now, if you remember, a very similar diagram is what we had discussed, or a graph that we had discussed. What has happened here is that good sign. So basically, this is about margins, right? Volume mix is giving a good one, 110 up. So if it's in green, volume and mix is showing a thumbs up. What is showing a thumbs down? It is the discounts given. So a lot of discounts being given here, and that is the reason why the margins or the profitability has sunk. You can see here from 627 to 523 million pounds, of course, right? Now let's go to the commercial vehicle update. So I hope for now you have understood. Main Range Rover problem was because of supply side. That has already been resolved. That can be seen in the numbers as well. Problem still stays with Jaguar. They have to ensure that they are able to pump up the revenue and EBIT of Jaguar. Unless, see, that's a big one in Marathi we say it's pandra hatti yeto. Pandra hattila खूप maintenance लागतो. So basically it's like a division which can be a make or break situation. I mean, it's pretty expensive to cater to that segment. A lot of resources are involved for manufacturing of Jaguar, ensuring that it is being branded properly, ensuring that it is being sold properly. If you have seen my video, I also told you that they changed their logo, but that has not maybe solved the problem, may have even worsened it, is what we can see from the numbers. So they'll have to pull out something for Jaguar. Then only things can come back on track, right? So I'm sure, see, and simple, if you and me can understand this, I'm sure the management also understands this, and hopefully they'll take some steps to ensure that Jaguar comes back on track, right? Number one. Number two, we also saw that though the revenue guidance has been dropped down by a huge one, EBIT percentage guidance remains the same. Number three, if you remember, Europe is back on track, but China this time is off track. Okay, maybe they have decided ek konitari asat karnar. Some, at least one of the geographical segment is going to say I'm not going to do well. Okay, anyways, commercial vehicles update. Revenue of Tata Motors commercial business fell 8.4% year on year. Now again, understand, see, CV business typically falls down when the overall economy is not doing well. If economy is not doing well, industries typically are on a slowdown. Automatically, commercial vehicles ka sale also goes down. And in fact, why only commercial vehicles? Even PV, EV also. This, I mean, Tata Motors is in a space which is totally related to discretionary spending. If the overall economy is in a slow, if the discretionary spending goes down, such companies are going to see a hit. No second thoughts on that. Okay. Margins have improved. Yes, 130 basis points. PBT expanded manifold. 1746 crores as against 70 crores a year ago. So that's what you can see. For this is for Tata commercial vehicles, there is a revenue drop, but EBITDA and EBIT have increased. What concerns me, if you remember the same thing I talked about in the Q2 video as well, look at this, they are losing out on the market share. See, understand, see, what is not a problem for me, if overall commercial vehicles in the industry itself are being sold at a lower number. Overall economy is not doing well, industry is not doing well, and that is the reason why demand for commercial vehicle itself is less. Okay, no problem. But if this company is losing the market share of commercial vehicles, that is something again that concerns me. If you see, and pretty fast, right? Q1 FY25, 39.1%. Q2 FY25, 37.4%. Q3 FY25 is at 36.5%. That's a little bit painful. Not really happy with this. And even if you see year on year, it has gone down from 41.7% to 39.2%, and year to date at 37.7%. So this one concerns me. Again, I hope the management takes certain steps to ensure that the pace at which they are losing their commercial vehicles market share, they are able to make some strategies so that their market share in commercial vehicle space also revives, right? Let's move on to the next one. PV EV update, passenger vehicle update. Revenue fell by 4.3%. Margins improved 120 basis points. PBT at 292 crores against a loss of 116 crores. Okay, so that's what you can see again in the numbers. One important point here, if you remember, I told you check on how many cars have been sold. So basically, number of cars sold has increased from 138,000. So basically 138,600 to 140,000. So that's a good one. The overall units sold have increased. Passenger vehicle update again. The problem is, see, number has gone down from 408 crores to 292 crores about the margins. What is the big point? Realizations. Look at the discount. Heavy discounts have been given, because of which their profitability is getting hampered, right? So all in all, just to give you ultimate highlights. Again, by the way, everything is taken from the investor presentation. Okay, I have not prepared any graph. I have not prepared any chart. I have not typed anything. These are pure screenshots from the investor presentation of Tata Motors Q3. Okay. Now, there are two highlights here. You can see industry highlights. You can see Tata Motors highlights. For industry highlights, they are saying EV industry saw an increase in registrations by 23% year on year, in line with PV industry. Addition of new products are okay. So they are saying EV industry is seeing increase in registrations. Good. And they are saying for Tata Motors highlights, Punch was the number one model in industry in 2024, continues to remain strong. Market leadership maintained in EV segment despite of growing competition. Okay, fair enough. Now, important is math. So, okay, of course, they are going to talk about some important points here. Important is now outlook. What is the outlook? Looking ahead, what are they saying? Underlying domestic demand to improve gradually on account of infrastructure spend, slew of exciting products, launches, and stable interest rates. They're saying what lies ahead. Because see, this is important. What lies ahead? Number one, they're saying ideally domestic demand to improve gradually on account of infrastructure spend. See, simple. If infrastructure spends increase, the overall industry activity will increase. If that happens, demand for commercial vehicles will revive. Okay. Slew of exciting product launches. So if they come up with exciting product launches, ideally top line for PV, EV should ideally increase, and stable interest rates. If stable interest rates, not a problem. If they are lowered, will be definitely better for a company like Tata Motors, basically any automobile company. See, if interest rates are lowered, it'll mean that the companies will be, the customers will be able to take a loan at a lower interest rate, and that is the reason why the demand for automobiles can increase. Okay. They have also mentioned what are going to be their key priorities. They have said that proactively drive demand creation. That is what we are saying, right? They have to ensure that they are creating demand for JLR, and in JLR also specifically for Jaguar. So see, the same point I said, that if we understand this, obviously they are also going to understand that. So it will be just important to see as to how they are able to actually execute it. They have understood. They know it. Why should I say they have understood? I understood. They know it already. It's their company, right? But good to see that they have specifically, penned down their key priorities, how they want to improve. And also, if you remember, I said the reducing market share is something that bothers me. They have also mentioned they want to improve their market share also. So all the pain points that I see, management acknowledges that. Management has said that yes, we are going to set that as key priorities. So let's see if they're able to actually execute that or not. But with this, just checked out. Jeffries has mentioned downgrade. Motilal Oswal has said neutral rating. ICICI Securities has upgrades for Tata Motors. So all in all, just to sum up, for Jaguar Land Rover problem solved. I'm summing this up. Okay, important now. Land Rover problem was supply side issue, that is solved. Jaguar was a demand issue, not yet solved. Number one. Number two, so if you want to write this down, very important points, if you want to take out your notebook and pen, because this is what will help you understand that in Q4, if you were to specifically write down or specifically track few points, which should these be? You have to specifically ensure that you are checking these points. Number one, whether the demand is more for Jaguar. So how will I understand demand? Basically, sale number has to improve for Jaguar. Okay. Number two, CV, they are losing out market share. Their market share has to go up, and even CV top line again has to improve a little bit more. Number three, if I'm talking about PV, sales problem seems to be solved. They are getting more volumes, but profitability problem is not solved to a great extent, because they are right now selling more cars by giving more and more discounts. So we'll have to see whether they are able to, take away the discount slowly and steadily, yet increase the sale of cars. So that will be interesting to watch. So again, last time, Jaguar problem needs to be solved. CV, the market share problem need to be solved. And for PV, they're able to crack the sales, but they have to try and do it with lesser discounts. The profitability problem needs to be solved, right? So I hope you have understood in detail what is it with Q3 of Tata Motors, because When I did the video, I was really happy. So many people gave such amazing comments for the video. In fact, the video was trending at 45 number in India. So I was really happy with that as well. So I just thought of doing a follow-up video for Q3, and just thought of showing this investor presentation to you all as well, so that you also get to learn how to actually analyze different companies, right? Now let's understand about Nifty. I'm going to Nifty, but before I pull up the Nifty chart, let me also share something very, very important. Okay, let me just first pull up the chart and then I'll share that. Okay. I hope everyone is aware about a circular. Acha, many of you might not be also aware, but just mentioning this, that there is a circular which has been issued by SEBI, and the circular was issued yesterday. And in that, it is very clearly mentioned. Let me just see if I can pull out the exact screenshot for you. 1 second. Just give me a second. The circular is a big one. But excuse me. Got it. Perfect. So going back, yesterday only SEBI came up with a circular, and SEBI has very clearly mentioned that if a regulated entity wants to be associated with any other person, then certain rules and regulations have been put forth. Okay, there are some exceptions, there are some rules and regulations in it. Basically, it is mentioned. See, SEBI is for what? For investor education and investor protection also. Correct. Unfortunately, it was seen that there are a lot of people who are giving investment advice, and investment advice is being given even though people are not registered. Okay, important. Understand the whole scenario. See, the problem is that I've been getting so many links of so many different websites. Ki death blow for influencers. Arey, what? Have these people even read the circular issued by SEBI? The word finfluencer does not appear in the circular. The word finfluencer does not even appear in the FAQs of the circular. And how come it is being said that this is for influencers only? I mean, I'm surprised. Just to make headlines, people are using such words without even reading through properly. I mean, I don't understand why is this being done. This applies for any person who is doing this. Any person who is giving advice without being registered is doing something which is not allowed by SEBI. It's not only for influencers. It can be for any damn person. Can I say any damn person, including influencers? Why should I say that? Any person is any person, right? So any person who is giving advice or any person who is making claims, ki dekho, because of me you were able to generate so much profit and this, that's not allowed. Okay. And if there are such category of people who are doing this, regulated entities are not allowed to associate with these people. Okay, these people are who are giving any advice even though they are not registered. These people are who are giving claims that they have generated so much profits for the clients, this, that. Okay, then with such people, regulated entities are not allowed to associate with such people. Okay, now still one problem remained unanswered as to how does a person distinguish between who is an educator versus who is giving an advice or a recommendation. Okay, understand. Who is giving an advice or who is giving a recommendation for that, and versus who is giving education. And I'm so happy, extremely happy, that SEBI has given this in black and white. Now there will at least be no confusion. Till now, there was no exact FAQ on that. Till there was no exact clarification on this. So that is the reason why everyone was taking their own interpretation. And that is the reason why, because of ambiguity, a lot of things were being said about a lot of other people. I'll show the screenshot. See, I totally believe that I am a person who is here to teach you about a lot of important happenings in the market. We do discuss about quarterly results. We do discuss a lot about companies. But then we should also understand some key points which are mentioned by SEBI, who is the regulator of stock market, correct? So now if you have a look at this, I'm reading this out for you. What distinguishes education and advice or recommendation? A person engaged solely in education shall mean that such person is not engaged in any of the two prohibited activities. Which two prohibited activities? I already told you. Giving advice wala is one activity, and second, I have also, before I move on, see, I always believe that whenever I'm telling anything, I should be the person who has read it, who has read everything properly. See, this is what is the main circular all about. This is about the 10-pager FAQ. This was the original consultation paper, and these are all the notes. The pura leke baithu मैं. So see, problem is that when people just write left and right that this is banned for influencers and death of influencers and this, I just don't understand why don't people read what is given by SEBI. It's just a 10-pager document, and that is the reason why I thought I should at least share the most relevant screenshot with everyone so that you also can tell that yes, we have seen it and we have read it and we understand that what is allowed, what is not allowed, what is education, what is advice. So going back to our screenshot, a person engaged solely in education shall mean uh, person a person engaged solely in education shall mean that such person is not engaged in any of the two prohibited activities. Two prohibited activities, as I mentioned, it's very clearly mentioned in this circular, right? Such persons should not be using the market price data of the preceding 3 months to speak, talk, display the name of any security, including using any code name of the security in his or her talk, speech, video, ticker, screen share, etc., indicating the future price, advice, or recommendation related to security or securities. Now, the problem here is that or I should just say the statement given here is that they have mentioned that such person should not, so any person who is into education, who is solely into education, should not be using the market price of the preceding 3 months to speak, talk, display the name of the security, including using any code name of the security in his, her talk, speech, video, ticker, screen share, etc., indicating the future price, advice, or recommendation related to security or security. So again, a person may say that I'm just showing I'm just showing the existing view, trading view screen. I'm not indicating the future price. I'm not giving an advice. I'm not giving a recommendation. A person can say that. There could be question marks around this, but I believe that even if it is gray, we are not going to do that. Even if it is maybe yes or no, we are not going to do that. If until and unless any further clarification comes up on whether this should be treated as an actual full stop or a comma or whatever, still I will take this as, if I'm purely into education, I will not talk about the market price data of the preceding 3 months. Simple. I think abiding by the laws which have been given by any regulatory authority is on top priority and has always been my top priority, right? Very nice, Abhishek. I'm really happy that you have asked this question, where can I get the SEBI circular? I will make it a point that I pin the link of the SEBI circular in the pinned comment and in the description box. You all, I believe, are, my indirect students is what I can say. So if you are also informed, you should be in a position to understand that what is allowed and what is not allowed, right? So that is the reason why from today, unless and until we get any further clarification, I'm repeating, unless and until we get any further clarification, I will not be talking about stocks based on current prices. In simple words, see, if I'm showing you charts, if I'm showing you trading view, it means that I am talking, because they have used the word in the circular. Even person should not be using the market price data to speak, talk, even display the name of this. I know that I'm not indicating the future price. I know I'm not giving any advice. I know that I'm not giving any recommendation, but still I don't want even a slight question mark, even gray area. I'm not going to take that. So right now we are not going to discuss from today, unless and until any further clarification comes up. I will not talk about stocks based on trading view. Okay, latest 3 months data, especially if you were to ask me about something long term like 10 years, whatever, that is last 3 months is not allowed, number one. And very, very important, extremely important, related to security or securities. Very important. See, that's how you read, that's how you analyze. Related to security or securities. What is a security, or what is security or securities will be like any stocks. Index will be allowed. So tomorrow, I'm sure those who have not read this carefully, if they see my live stream and if they say, oh, Rachana was talking about Nifty, she was giving, she was displaying data which is like recent data, last 3 months ke andar ka data she is showing. Are Baba, the word security or securities has been used. Index is excluded from the definition of securities. Okay, so can I show Nifty data? Yes. Can I show sectoral indices data? Yes. So for example, Bank Nifty, uh, or Nifty Auto. So sectoral indices are also not a problem. Security. So for stocks, I will not be able to show you trading view screen share for now, from now, unless and until we get a further clarification. I hope everyone is absolutely clear with this. We believe that whatever is required by the regulator, we follow it to the T. Okay, and that's what we have been doing since day one. And I'm happy at least they have given a clarification. Okay, uh, so let's see if some clarification comes up. Is it what sort of clarification comes up, right? Okay. Again, what about IPO analysis? Will you discontinue that? No, absolutely not. See, if you again try and understand, whenever I come, look at all my IPO video, latest, check any 4 or 5 IPO videos, just random. What will you see? I talk about anything and everything which is a part of RHP. I will never talk about data which is not there, which is outside RHP. Okay, based on speculations, this, that, whatever. If it's in RHP, see what I do in IPO videos is it's like a 500-600 pager RHP. I summarize that for you in 10 to 15 minutes. No one stops me from giving IPO summaries. And this specific WhatsApp image just talks about stock prices which are not to be talked about. Why did I talk about Q3 results of Tata Motors today? Isn't that about an information within the 3 months? Are Baba, information I can tell. For stock prices, I am not allowed to talk about last 3. So last 3 months ka stock prices is on which I should not be ideally commenting. Last 3 months ka, even today, anything, any news which comes up, exactly, should not be like future predictions. Absolutely no, nothing, no future predictions should be done. That is important point. If we are talking, even for those who are a part of our pro investor memberships, right, those who know what are these pro investor memberships all about, it's about fundamental analysis, absolute in-depth fundamental analysis. The videos go into 40 minutes, 45 minutes of videos. We talk about each and everything in detail, right from what does the company do, industry analysis. We also discuss strategies of the business. Correct. Then we talk about the financials, we talk about the latest quarterly data, we talk about management commentary, we talk about the investor presentation. Everything is there in the stock of the month, right? So basically the fundamental analysis video. Why is it called as the stock of the month? For the month, because I release one video per month. Okay. And we talk about a stock which pertains to different sectors. So we have learned how to analyze an airline company. We have now learned how to analyze an NBFC. We have learned now how to analyze a company which is from the auto space, okay, which is in the hotel. And so many industries we have covered till date. And we have now understood what are the different words also which are relating to various sectors. But a small change that will come up in the member special videos is that technical analysis will be excluded. Okay. Till now, there was no clarification from SEBI that you are not allowed to do technical analysis. But now, if SEBI has mentioned in one of the FAQs that yes, last 3 months data is what you're not allowed to talk on if you are into education, I will abide by that. In fact, the stock of the month has been short, but I'm going to edit out the part of technical analysis. In fact, I have also shot a video on Geo Finance on your demand. because geofinance has also been falling like anything, and everyone requested me to do a video on geofinance. I've already shot a video on geofinance. I had talked about the technicals. I'm going to cut that because last 3 months data was included in the technical analysis of geofinance, right? See, the whole purpose is that if I'm not doing advisory, see, I mean, I'll be really honest with you all. If I declare that I'm going to start my advisory, I'm sure that I'll get a lot of clients. But that's not what I intend to do. I've been in teaching since day one of me becoming a chartered accountant. Teaching is my passion, and I've been following that since day one. I cleared my CA in the first attempt. I would have easily gotten a job in any of the big MNCs, in any of the big four CA firms, but I did not opt to go there. I opted to become a teacher instead because I love what I do. And if I were to do that, if SEBI has very clearly mentioned that this is what distinguishes you from being a finance educator to an investment advisor, I will abide by that. I want to this field of investor awareness, in the field of investor education. That gives me utmost satisfaction. So that is the reason why from now we will not be talking about technical analysis in our Thursday live streams. Having said that, there is no prohibition on we talking about the data about that company based on screener. Why? We are talking about the fundamentals of the company. Sales. See, always remember, if I'm talking about fundamental analysis, this is about the previous quarterly data. It's not about, it can't be predictive in nature. Then what about if management has given outlook? Management has given outlook. It is there in the public domain. I'm not interpreting anything. Okay. So even in fundamental analysis, if it is a predictive in nature based on something which is given by the management. So for example, like in case of Tata Motors had said that our EBIT margins or EBITDA margins will be in 8.5% range. Management has said that. That's okay. If I'm telling that, absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. So I hope everyone is clear, and anyone who is reading news on different websites, finfluencer this, finfluencer that, ask those people who have written that article, have they even read it or not? Just because they want clicks, just because they want more traffic, why do you want to use this word unnecessarily? You read the entire 10-pager circular, which has FAQs. You read the main circular, which is a 3-pager circular. Nowhere the word finfluencer is used. So a request to all those news agencies also who are wanting to get unnecessary attention, please don't do that. Just don't use the word influencer unnecessarily, right? It's not exactly, it's not about sensationalism. You do a great job by just giving quality information to people, to readers like me as well. Even I consume a lot of news on various news platforms, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of news platforms. Just with such news, it makes me feel disheartened that some words are just used for sensationalism. Anyways, exactly. Educators should be allowed to display and comment on published market data by NSE or TradingView. Only future predictions should be prohibited. I totally agree with you, Johnson. And even I feel that should come up as a clarification, that if it is there on the screen, see, for example, there is a cup and handle pattern. It's visible there. It's there on the screen. Like you people ask me, ma'am, this is a cup and handle, am I right? And I just say a yes or no. But then I agree with you, but SEBI has to come up with that. Unless and until they don't, I can't do anything, right? So technical analysis part, last 3 months for stock prices needs to be cut off for now. Let's see. Okay, I totally agree with you. If it's about future, and you look at our Thursday live streams, never ever have I said that the target price is this and stop loss price is that. Never ever. But anyways, absolutely, I can do technical analysis for teaching purposes using past data to teach fundamentals or technical analysis. Absolutely. So if you have seen my courses, all my courses have past data. Okay, my technical analysis course, the data that I use is older than 3 months. Data that I've used, fundamental analysis, chhod do, be it fundamental analysis course, price action analysis course, all has data points which is older than 3 months. So that already satisfies the criteria, right? I understand I understand, but what do I do? Okay, anyways, Nifty is allowed, index is allowed, securities is not allowed. Let's go to trading view. Let's go to Nifty levels. All right. Finally, two green shoots is what we could see. Oh my God. So, wait. Let me remove all the drawings. It will be nicer to see. Everyone knows this. We have been in a downtrend from this peak. If I were to just draw key pointers till here and here. We are in a downward trend right now, which will be the first. See, always remember, I've said this so many times, 50 DEMA will be a short-term support, 200 DEMA will be a longer-term support. If they are broken, they will act as a resistance. So immediate resistance on the upward side is 23,628 based on 200 DEMA line. Okay, 23,628. Good point that we can see here is, screen share. Sorry. Akshay keeps on watching the Thursday live streams. That is the reason why whenever something goes wrong, he says the screen share is what you want. Okay, anyways. So going back to our discussion, 150 DEMA was broken. 50 DEMA was broken. 150 DEMA was broken. 200 DEMA was broken. Now, obviously, the 200 DEMA is going to act as a resistance. So that's why I'm drawing a line. Alt J. Okay. So around 23,600 is the level of resistance. Okay, simple. Now what can you see here? This was a gap down. This gap has already been filled and two green shoots now coming up. Let's also quickly check the pivot points. I've already talked about this so many times, but still on the upward side, the resistance is at 23,600. On the lower side, obviously 23,124 is by pivot points, but everyone I think has by hearted the levels by now. 23,200 and every 500 points below we have different support levels. What is going to be the next biggest trigger is going to be the budget, and which is going to happen day after tomorrow. I hope everyone knows that on Saturday markets are going to remain open. So everyone make a note of this, that this Saturday we will have markets. The markets will be open on account of budget. Hopefully the budget is good. Hopefully there's something about revival of the economy. There should be some measures which try to boost consumption. I'm personally expecting some relaxation in the basic exemption limit itself. Ideally, if I were the finance minister, बोलने में क्या जाता है? Okay, if I were the finance minister, first things first, ideally basic exemption limit should have been increased. I would have increased. Okay. Even I think the 30% tax slab. See, I'm not into taxation, right? Even the 30% tax slab, if I'm not mistaken, starts at 15 lakhs onwards. Please correct me if I'm wrong. 30% tax slab comes at 15 lakhs and onwards. I feel that there should be one more smaller tax slab between, let's say, 15 to 20 or 15 to 25 lakhs. There will be a lot of people who will be in that range as well. And if that be so, again, some tax will be saved. Ultimately, saving of tax for an individual is going to be higher consumption. Higher consumption will ultimately drive more demand. If more demand is there in the system, it will lead to more production. Everything will be good for the economy, right? So all in all, I truly expect that there will be some relief for the basic exemption limit as well, and even for a kind of a higher tax slab from 15 lakhs, if that's at the 30% tax slab. Some will be for 15 lakh to 20 lakh. Ideally, there should be some breather. That is one thing. I'll just tell one more thing. I don't think this is going to happen. Okay, just बोलने में क्या जाता है category again. Next to impossible. This is not going to happen. But see, I also want that FIIs stay here. Okay, so if they can make some changes in the taxation related to capital gains also. If that be so, it can be good for the market. We want FIIs to stop selling, and that can also be considered. Of course, that will not have an impact on the economy. I totally understand that, but something related to stock market also needs to be taken care of, right? Yeah, so Gautam has said 15 to 20 lakhs, 25%. Okay, cool. Absolutely right. So let's see what happens on Saturday. So on Saturday, I will come up with a video around maybe 8 in the evening or something like that. Yes, I will come up with my own summary of the budget. It will be easier for everyone, right? Thank you, Kirtan, for that. Thank you for reminding about blogs. I'll not be posting blogs again unless blogs related to charts again. So would want some suggestions from you all also, that if I'm not doing blogs about technical analysis again, see, I want to do it, but if it's not allowed, I'm not going to do it. Simple, right? So if that be so, what else would you want to read in blogs? Uh, that is an important point. So if you have any suggestions, please drop your suggestions on what could be a small read. Maybe if it's a 2 to 3 minute read on the blog, what would you want to read? Would definitely love to post that on blogs, but technical analysis blogs will now stop. Okay. Ashwin says, will you be live during budget session? No, 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 no. I will enjoy watching Nirmala ma'am talk about the budget, and I will try and summarize it for you and make a video in the evening. Aniruddha is saying that SEBI doesn't want us to get educated. No comments. See, I think there were a few cases where let's say some people were giving illegal advisory, and to curb them, rules are drafted. In the rules, some people who are trying to genuinely educate, they also get dragged into it. So for me, for example, I was trying to teach you technical analysis, of course, and as I mentioned, right, if I were to take monthly chart, so just as an example, if I were to take up a monthly chart, just understand this, and remove the last 3 candles, simple, monthly chart, last 3 candles, cut out, I'm allowed to do that. So that anyways we can do. So maybe in the next upcoming live streams, we can focus more on long-term charts rather than daily charts or weekly charts. Monthly charts with last 3 candles. Exactly, Abhishek, you are coming onto the point. There are so many people who are on Telegram, different WhatsApp groups who promote such things, and don't even, I mean, they are not registered. So to curb them, maybe such circulars have to come in place. Nilesh says don't show chart, but maybe you can mention stuff like cup and handle pattern is forming or some. जुगाड़ करना है तो जुगाड़ कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन जुगाड़ करना नहीं है, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. Okay, but I mean, let's see some if we can. They can introduce license system. Let's see. When can we expect geofinance video? Tomorrow. Tomorrow you will get geofinance video. Okay. Thank you for that. Congratulations on cricket win, ma'am. I know that's a very close win to my heart. I've never been a sports person, right? I mean, I never even won a running race in my school also. And the other day we won one match in CA Cricket League, Women's Cricket League, and I was the player of the match. I bowled 2 overs, 6 runs, 2 wickets. So maza aa gaya, right? Hey, RSK education. Last 3 candles cut out. बहुत बढ़िया जुगाड़ है. Very nice idea, ma'am. That's not जुगाड़, Baba. That is, I am adhering to law. What जुगाड़? जुगाड़ means I am deviating from whatever is given. That's जुगाड़. I'm not deviating. If I'm cutting out last 3 candles, it means that I'm not showing last 3 months data. I'm talking about a monthly chart. Last 3 months data gone is equal to whatever is remaining on the chart. That's allowed to be shown. Not जुगाड़, Baba. Okay. Bajaj Housing Finance also, a lot of people have asked for a video on this. I'll definitely come up with a video on Bajaj Housing Finance. Oof, last 3 candles or last 3 months? Okay, understand. If I'm talking about a monthly candle, if I'm talking about a monthly data, so I'll show you on screen. You'll get to know what I'm saying, right? Show the screen. Just give me a second. So let's say we are on Nifty. We are on any other stock also. Should not be a problem. I take 1 month. Okay, altar. So this is the whole data. Okay. Now what I'll have to do is, before screen share, there is a replay functionality, and I cut this out. See, gone. Now this is November. Acha, I should have cut one more. Wait. So it will now take a little bit of time. 1 minute. So replay, and yes, okay, replay, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think do it here. Yes, I think this is done now. September, till September we have October, November, December. I cut 4 months data. See, I should now practice this. Last 3 candles should be out, because 1 candle represents 1 month data. I hope you are with me. This is allowed for even stocks. Okay. Geo Financials, yes, coming up with a video tomorrow. Okay. Cool. I think this is it for the day. Today, just wanted to share my views. I loved this. We will go on Dandi Yatra to SEBI. Kya baat hai. Nice. Okay. All right. Cool. Arre baba, काय करतोय? Okay. Okay. Now people are getting very creative. Okay. Let's stop. So I hope you have understood about the SEBI circular. I hope you have understood about Q3 results. For SEBI related thing, I hope now you know what is allowed, what is not allowed. Okay. So that's how we'll go ahead with our next Thursday live streams. I'm still getting some, so you can do technical and for teaching purpose using past data to teach the fundamentals. Yeah, exactly. So we will be using past data. Agreed. And of course, as I said, right, if you're talking about any specific stock, we can definitely go on screener and we can check something like an OPM. We can check ROE, ROC. A lot of things can be checked, right? So I hope everything is absolutely clear. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.